D2 Word Life here with Rip Minihausen Tides.
No, we're all sad that you. We all know that you were sad that you didn't get to see Zane.
Everyone was sad about that. You heard what the crowd was chanting during the Sky and Oscar match, as well as I did, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that didn't happen today. Today we are reviewing Backlash 2026. And before we get into it, I know you were disappointed that your boy Logan Paul wasn't competing in an actual match tonight at this show.
Fuck off.
I mean, you had the prime bottles ready and everything.
No, I didn't.
But this event took place on May 9th, 2026 in Tampa, Florida at the Benchmark International Arena with a reported attendance of 14,633. And the commentators for this event was Wade Barrett and your boy Michael Cole. I swear to God.
No.
I swear to God, if Michael Cole ever comes back to wrestle in that orange singlet again, I'm done. We're not having this discussion.
I will laugh.
Oh, I know you would. And the ring announcer for this event was Alicia Taylor. Anyway, we get welcome to Backlash after the pre-show was over. Obviously, there was no pre-show match. They really don't do pre-show matches anymore these days for some reason. I don't know why, but, it's a whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when pre-shows were hyping up the event plus at least one pre-show match, but we don't even get that. We don't even get the pre-show match anymore. They cut that for some reason. Despite some of these pre-shows being like 2 hours long. I think the pre-show for this lasts an hour, but you know what I mean. Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, after the introduction of the show, we get right on to the first match of the night, which was Braun Breaker taking on Discount Sub-Zero. I mean Seth Rollins.
Apparently, they did that to honor Ted Turner when he passed away.
Really? I thought it was a marketing deploy. I thought it was an advertisement promoting the new Mortal Kombat 2 movie.
Well, that too, but they were honoring Ted Turner because he had just passed away prior to this.
So you're telling me it was Ted Turner who decided to put the Glacier character on WCW? Okay.
Probably.
So yeah, we had Timo version of Sub-Zero or Glacier 2.0, whatever you want to call it, Seth Rollins during his entrance. Right?
Yeah.
And I remember you messaging me like, why the hell does your boy Seth Rollins look like Glacier? I'm like, I have no idea. Right? So I guess
you didn't even know about it because you weren't paying attention to the entrance until I sent you a picture of it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was getting other TVs around here set up for the show. I didn't even see the entrance, but he showed me that picture that's right there. I'm like, really? That's what he came out looking like? Yes. Right?
Yes.
So I'm like, wow. So I guess you can say, in a way, Glacier finally showed up to these reviews, just not the old version.
Yes.
Ha ha. He finally arrived. It's not the version we were talking about, though. Right?
It's not the original version, it's the Temu version.
Yeah, he was running late. Anyway. Yeah. And of course, these two went on it right off the bat, which included freaking Rollins taking advantage early on after Breaker missed his first spear attempt. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, they were fighting. Those who were fighting made their way onto the outside, where Breaker was freaking charging at Rollins, but Rollins reversed it with a super kick. Right?
Also, why did Braun Breaker look like Rick Steiner from back in the 90s and Scott Steiner from back at... No, Rick Steiner, yeah. With his fucking short-ass haircut?
I don't know, maybe a little tribute to his family heritage, possibly, with the look. Right? You know, Braun Breaker is a Steiner, obviously.
Yes, but he just looked weird because we're normally used to him having his hair a different way, and then he just decided to do it his father's haircut for tonight.
Yeah, and the next thing you know, he's gonna show up on Raw this week with his hair bleach dyed fucking blonde like Scott Steiner's was. Or something.
Are you gonna give us a Steiner promo again?
I'd be like, oh god. Well, if there's a top student that graduated from the Steiner Math House, it's Braun Breaker. Am I right?
Yeah.
And of course, on the outside, Breaker got the advantage sitting when he sent Rollins over the announce table with a clothesline, but here's the part that I guess you could say in the middle of the match or towards the end when they were back in the ring, Rollins attempted a suplex or a falconary, but Breaker reversed into a falconary of his own for a 2 count. I thought that looked impressive. Right? And of course, Breaker went for the Frankensteiner, but Rollins reversed it and executed into the pedigree in the stomp, which put freaking Breaker down, but instead of going for the cover...
You mean he went for the spear, not the Frankenstein? He hit 2 Frankensteiners.
Yeah, but I'm just saying after...
He went for the spear, and which got reversed. I'm like, you went for the what? The
What?
Frankensteiner is a top rope Hurricane Rana.
Okay, yeah, whatever. Braun went for the spear. Freaking Rollins reversed it into the pedigree, which by all means does look impressive, right?
Oh.
But instead of going for the cover, freaking Rollins made his way on the outside, took a steel chair, and well, he knew freaking Austin Theory and your boy Logan Paul were going to interfere, right?
Fuck off! They're not my boys. They're your boys.
Yeah, he took out Theory with a steel chair, followed by a stomp, and then he freaking chased Logan Paul out of the arena. Right? With a steel chair.
Yeah.
And Logan Paul, probably having flashbacks to his WrestleMania match with Rollins, was like, yeah, I don't want any part of that. I'm out of here. Right? And yeah, you remember the WrestleMania match Logan Paul had with Seth Rollins. I think Rollins was dressed in all pink for that one. Right?
Yes.
But Rollins got right back into the ring after taking care of Theory and Paul on the outside, only to be met with a spear from Breaker, and Rollins kicked out. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, Rollins countered this other spear with a pedigree again. Breaker free. But then Rollins was like, you know what? This was the end of the matchup. Rollins was like, you know what? I'm going to go up to the top rope. Attempt a super stomp on the Breaker to get the win, because that's the only way Breaker's going to go down, right?
Yeah.
But right when freaking Rollins was about to execute the freaking super stomp from the middle or top rope, turnbuckle, where you want to call it, Breaker freaking intercepted, nailing freaking Rollins with a spear. Right? And then Breaker got Rollins right back up again and hit another spear on the freaking Rollins to end the match and get the win. Get the 3 count to win the match. Your thoughts on this one?
Good match. I was correct at the ending, though.
Well, this match realistically could have gone either way. Now, that I felt like it was like a 4 to 5 star classic. No, but it had its moments, so I would just rate it a little bit above average, honestly. And yes, even though there was interference, your boys technically didn't do anything because they got their ass kicked instead.
They're your boys. And Logan Paul ran off with his fucking tail between his legs.
Which I know made you disappointed. You're like, God damn it, I bought all this Prime for nothing.
Nope, that is you.
See, I thought it was an alright match. Both of them, I believe, had better matches before, but if they're using this as a stepping stone to push Braun Breaker more towards the main event, then yeah, I agree with Braun Breaker winning this match. But if that's not the case, and they just have Braun Breaker in the same position that he's been in lately, I'm like, what was the point of beating a big main eventer as in Seth Rollins? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could those two have a rematch?
Like I said before, I think that they're probably gonna have Seth Rollins not now, maybe 5, maybe 10 years down the road from now, to retire at some point. So they're trying to push Breakker as a big main eventer. So they put him up against the main event stars to give them the rub and shit, and to pass on their knowledge, which they will.
I mean, to me personally, do I think Braun Breaker is a future World Heavyweight Champion or future WWE Champion? More specifically, a future WrestleMania main eventer on top of it? Yeah, but I'm not saying that's going to happen, like, within the next few months. Maybe by next year or the year after, we could be saying that. You know what I mean? At this rate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a good match to open up the show. So, yeah, anyway. We go on to our next match of the night, which was a WrestleMania rematch for the United States Championship between U.S. Champion Trick Williams, accompanied by Little Yachty in his corner again, against the former champion Sami Zayn.
Bullshit, Little Yachty had no fucking right to be there.
Okay, but before we get into what happened in the match up here, let's start off by saying, well, going into this match, I believe had the best storyline. Going into it with the whole gingerbread man antics, right?
Yes.
I mean, how this feud can be summed up with one sentence from Shrek. Not my gumdrop button.
A gumdrop button.
It all started with Trick Williams' celebration, as we know, when Sami Zayn was in the freaking dang gingerbread man suit, attacked freaking Williams and Yachty from behind. Then I believe it was the following week on SmackDown, Sami Zayn totally destroyed the gingerbread man costume, including ripping the freaking gumdrop button off. Right?
Yeah.
And then this past week on SmackDown, they had the freaking funeral for the freaking dang gingerbread man himself. I'm like, really? Which turned out to be a ruse, because that ended up being Trick Williams in the freaking suit to attack Zayn. Right?
Yeah.
Leading into the match, and I'm just like... I mean, this storyline's gotten so ridiculous. Even on Slam app, they have the gingerbread man as one of the icons you could use on your profile now.
Yes.
And I'm just like, really? Right? But the beginning... Okay, now let's get into the match. Both men make their entrances here. And... At first, Zayn was in control. Zayn attacked. Zayn got the advantage of Williams with chops in the corner, but Williams freaking eventually nailed a clothesline at ringside when both of them made their way to the outside. A little bit later on in the match, we see it. Sami Zayn actually nailed the Blue Thunder Bomb on freaking Trick Williams. Did it work? No. No, because it only works about 10% of the time. Williams kicked out. Right?
He hit the Blue Thunder Bomb twice.
Yeah, and both times were unsuccessful. Right?
Both times got a 2 count, almost a 3 count.
Big shocker, I know. Right?
Yes.
But the Blue Thunder Bomb did not work. And of course, after some back and forth, after a little bit more back and forth between the two, freaking Zayn landed on his feet. But then Zayn was like, oh, my knee, faking a knee injury in the middle of the match, just to gain the advantage, right?
Oh?
Typical freaking dang, it's like typical heel work, right?
Yeah.
But because
he also planted Trick Williams' head into the steel.
Yeah. But it was there in this spot where freaking Zayn attempted a freaking roll-up pin. The most devastating move in all sports entertainment. That didn't work either. And that's when Lil Yachty got up on the apron, distracted the referee long enough for Zayn to pick up the kendo stick and nail Williams in the head with it. right?
Yes.
Which also rendered it a 2 count, right?
Yeah.
And here's the part of the match that became bullshit. It was at this point Zayn getting booed, even though in any circumstance, freaking he would be getting cheered, right,
Yeah.
for what he was doing. Zayn was preparing to hit the haluva kick on the freaking Williams. Then Lil Yachty got up on the apron and nailed Zayn with a kendo stick in return when the referee was distracted. And that's when I'm like, well, this match is going to be torn apart now and losing points because of that. Right?
That was a bullshit. Little Yachty had no fucking reason to be out there.
And of course, that gave Williams to land the freaking trick kick or trick shot, whatever you want to call it, onto Zayn for a 2 count. And of course, freaking on the outside of and those two made their way to the outside of the ring, where Zayn got the advantage by DDTing Williams onto the steel steps. That's another highlight. But then freaking Zayn went off on Little Yachty on the outside of the ring, right?
Yeah.
And because he attacked Yachty with the freaking kendo stick, along with Haluva kicking Yachty into the barricade. And of course, Yachty just got back up about 5 seconds later, selling it like you do on 2K. Right? You didn't think of that when you made that reference
No, he
before
got
the
up
recording.
after. No, he got up after the match was won. He was still laid out.
But either way, back in the ring one more time. The ending came when Zayn was measuring Williams up for a haluva kick, but Reigns reversed it into a trick shot to get the 3 count to retain the championship. Pretty much the same ender we got at WrestleMania. Your thoughts on this one?
Bullshit.
Yeah, the manager had no right to interfere in the dang match again, but yet Williams is cheered despite the dirty tactics. I just don't get it. I just don't get it with this one, am I right?
Yeah.
So once again, Trick Williams proves that he's not a fighting champion and he interferes, but yet the crowd still cheer him like he's a second coming or something. Right?
Yeah.
Now that Zayn lost his rematch, what's that mean for Sami Zayn going forward? Put him back in a titleless feud again and build him back up as a credible challenger, I guess? Right?
Probably.
And what's that mean for Trick Williams going forward from now? Probably going to find another challenger for the U.S. title? Maybe in Williams' next title defense, maybe Lil Yachty should be banned from ringside or something.
Or Sami Zayn jumping Trick Williams and fucking attacking him and getting another chance at the title again.
Or something. What's next? What's next? Zayn gonna attack freaking Trick Williams, this time wearing a bear costume? Like, what the hell's going on around here? I guess we'll just find out on SmackDown.
Well, you could say he could barely get over the loss.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He pawed him into a submission.
Oh, God, if that actually freaking happened, you're going to be calling me up and be like, how did you know? Am I right?
My bear puns will be honey.
I'd be like, how did you know? Yeah, he could barely get over the feet. He pawned freaking dang Williams and giving him a rematch. And then when Zayn gets the title back, he'll go home to his wife and be like, honey, I'm home. What the fuck? Oh,
you'd be like, where's my picnic table?
Where's the picnic basket? We need Snoop Dogg on commentary for this. Sorry, I'm not over that line he dropped like 2 years ago at WrestleMania, I swear to God. Right?
It's funny as fuck.
But yeah, this match, I believe, was the weakest match of the night. I mean, if you enjoyed it, that's on you. I mean, good for you. If you enjoyed it, got something out of it, that's good for you, for those listening. But, I mean, I really wasn't into the match, even though I was entertained by the story going into the match itself. Right? Yeah, and then we go on to the next match of the night. after some advertising, we got The Miz and Kit Wilson, your boys.
Fuck off.
Especially The Miz, your boy. You always quote him every time I say something funny. You're like, really? Right?
Really?
Yes, Miz, really?
Really?
What?
What?
Really?
What?
Really?
What?
Really?
I've been cursed.
You ruined it. Because if you would have said what one more time, I would have been like, and that is what a promo between Steve Austin and The Miz would sound like. Really? What? Really? What? Really? What? But anyway, it was Miz and Kit Wilson, your boys, taking on freaking Danhausen and a mystery partner. And we all know the story with this. Freaking the Miz and Danhausen been having their little rivalry lately on SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
Danhausen would appear in Miz's freaking like mansion house, and then he'd curse the Miz, and every time freaking the Miz would face Danhausen, something funny or catastrophe would strike Miz, and Miz would always end up on the losing end.
Now, ever since Danhausen showed up on SmackDown, Nick Aldis told Miz to be his mentor, and he's like, no, I'm not going to be your mentor. Then Danhausen was like, you are cursed.
Yes, and the Miz has been having bad luck against freaking Danhausen ever since, right?
Yes, but what was up with them wearing my name is I'm not toxic, and hi, my name is I'm not cursed. And especially on business wrestling trunks, it's like, I'm not cursed.
But yeah, the story going into this, like that one time when freaking Miz was in a match against freaking Danhausen, he leaned up against the ropes and the pyro went off on his face, right?
That was Kit.
Or when Kit was facing Danhausen, whatever. And then there was there was also the other freaking vignette where Danhausen was at the Miz's mansion, and the Miz tried to throw dirt onto Danhausen. Danhausen moved, and Maurice got nailed instead.
And, well, they were also.
And the Miz got and the look on the Miz's face was like, "Uh-oh, I fucked up," right?
Yes, but he was also there for when they were renewing their vows, and Kit Wilson was a fucking bastard.
Yes. Yeah, and eventually this led to the Miz and Kit Wilson attacking freaking Danhausen after the Miz faked being on Danhausen's side. Thus, Danhausen wanted Kit Wilson and the Miz at Backlash, and Nick Aldis was like, yeah, only if you find a tag team partner, make it a tag match. So now that's why Danhausen has a mystery partner, which there was a lot of speculation into this. Hell, we even said our opinions. We knew we got them wrong, obviously. We knew that, but none of us would have guessed this. Danhausen made his entrance, and then there was a clone machine right there, quote. A bunch of fog came out, and what do we get? Minihausen.
Yes.
Which is apparently the former freaking El Torito from the Los Matadores tag team years ago. Right?
Yes. For 2015.
Yeah. The one who faced Hornswoggle in that WLC match during that TLC 2014 kickoff show. Which a lot of people said was the best match on that card, despite it being on the pre-show. Right?
Yeah.
But anyway, that's beside the point. I mean, if we review Extreme Rules 2014 or TLC 2014, whatever freaking dang pay-per-view that was on, we'll watch that match on YouTube and just give our little opinions on it and compare it to the rest of the card. But until then, yeah, that's what we know, right?
Yep.
So yeah, Minihausen freaking started this match off with, I believe, Kit Wilson, right?
Yeah.
And Minihausen actually brought the fight to Kit Wilson. It was freaking funny, right?
Yeah.
And then Danhausen got tagged in.
Freaking the fuck out though.
Yeah, and then Danhausen got tagged in a couple times. Got his beat down on. Got back and forth on. But then eventually, Minihausen got the tag in. Eventually, Wilson and Miz got control of the match, beating down on Minihausen and just acting like they were Andre the Giant facing a freaking regular-sized opponent. That's what they felt like. Because they were a lot bigger than Minihausen, who's a little person. Right?
Yeah.
But eventually, near the end of the match, when all hell broke loose, I guess you could say, freaking Wilson and Minihausen made their way up towards the little clone machine, still sitting on the entranceway.
Well, after Kit Wilson held up the his mirror that he had, copying Cody Rhodes at the time.
To reverse the curse on the Minihausen. Right.
Because he's like, you are... And then freaking Kit Wilson pulled up the mirror and freaking said curse. And then it rebounded, so he started getting beat up. And then Kit Wilson beat him up all the way to the freaking clone machine, threw him in there, picked up the freaking door, closed that.
And then all of a sudden we started seeing smoke appear from it once again.
Yes.
And then it plopped down, and then we had the whole army of Minihausens again, like we've seen at WrestleMania come out.
Yes. And what happens? They beat the shit out of Kit Wilson, and what did not happen? There was no DQ.
There was no DQ, since one of them was a participant in the match. Logic. Where's the logic, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like Kit Wilson being attacked by like 10 other participants that weren't even in the match. Okay, 5.5. Okay, 5.5. Okay, I'm just joking. All right.
It is, and freaking Wade Barrett's like, they're touching me. One bit me.
Yeah, so all the Minihausens ended up on the announce desk, right?
Yes.
So all the Minihausens ended up on the announce desk, and then that's when the Miz pulled out the fire extinguisher, tried to freaking... oh yeah, by the way, let's call the spot. Before all that, freaking the Miz hit a skull-crushing finale on Minihausen, which I'm like, that looked awkward. Right? We got that mentioned that spot.
Right when he picked him up to do, he's like, how is this gonna work?
I know, right? It just more looked like an awkward side slam with both of them falling face first down. Right?
Yes.
Which I thought was funny to see, not gonna lie. Only because of the look on Miz's face struggling how to do the move. Right?
Yeah.
But either way, after after the skull crushing finale attempt, that's when all the Minihausen came out. What we just described, right, happened after that. So all the Minihausens were up on the announce desk. The Miz pulled out a freaking fire extinguisher with an attempt to use it, but it would not work when he had it aimed at the Minihausens. And Miz made the mistake by aiming the freaking fire extinguisher into his own face, and that's when it went off. And it blinded him so much that he even took out Kit Wilson with it, too.
Yes.
Yeah, and then back in the ring, freaking Danhausen delivered a pump kick to the Miz to get the 3 count. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, Danhausen and Minihausen win this comedy tag team match, is what I like to call it. Yeah, your thoughts on this one? It was hilarious, I'll give it that. So yeah, your thoughts on this tag match?
It was a good match.
Yeah, I bet you were laughing at it, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, does this mean that the feud between Danhausen and The Miz is finally over, or will they continue?
It'll continue.
More likely it may continue, but if it means more shenanigans like that, I'm all for it. I know a lot of people don't
Most likely.
I know a lot of people don't like, haha, funny comedy a whole bunch in wrestling, but I'm like, everything can't be serious all the time. You gotta take a break from the seriousness and have a little laugh once in a while. Right?
No.
But speaking of serious stuff, we go to our next match of the night. which was the personal dream match that I have always wanted to see, and that was between Io Sky and Asuka. And we know the backstory of this, with Asuka being kicked out of the Kabuki Warriors team and last year, and how freaking the night that Io Sky turned into a Smurf because of the blue mist. That's what I'm referring to, right? And and then Io Sky's alignment with Rhea Ripley and all that leading into right now. Of course, there was one key element of this feud missing in this match, and well, we all know why, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the two made their entrances, and I'm just like, I was thinking to myself, I don't care how this match goes, I just want to enjoy it. Oh yeah, and if you want to go further than their recent history, their history goes all the way back to like 2021 when those two first crossed paths too. Right?
Boy, it goes further than that. It goes all the way back to New Japan, the wrestling promotion New Japan, where they were trios team back there. Yeah. And Oscar was saying, "Oh, I did so much for everyone to bring you here, blah, 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 blah. You don't appreciate what I've done."
And yes, I know. And then Oscar was the one who basically trained Io Sky to wrestle, basically, in a way.
Oh.
And help her break out into the business. But when it comes to our 2021 interaction, the moment I'm talking about. When both of them went back and forth in their native Japanese language, and the only thing we could understand was Io calling Asuka a bitch. Right?
I thought that was funny. Saying, baka, 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 baka. Yes. And then Io's just like, bitch.
Yes. I'm like, I heard that, I'm just like, I don't understand anything except for that last word. Right?
Baka means idiot, so she was calling Io Sky idiot, 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 and then she's like, bitch.
Yep. But that was funny as hell. And of course, we have everything with Kairi Sane going on, which she was a key part of this, and she got released literally at the start, literally a couple weeks back before the story can conclude, which made no sense to me whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, both my answers, as soon as they started going at each other, we heard the crowds yell out, "We want Kairi." Right?
Yes. And you were sitting back at home going, "I want Kairi Sane."
That was you! You even messaged me that. But overall, I thought the match was good. Now, some spots that stand out to me is freaking when both freaking Io Sky and Asuka were in the corner, were in the freaking corner, I believe it was Asuka who kicked Sky in the face, making her land on the ring apron or whatever near the start of the match. Then at one point, Asuka trapped Sky in the Boston Crab, and then freaking Sky went for the freaking dang rope, but then Sky started targeting, or Asuka started targeting Sky's arm, weeding that body part up. Right? And of course, Sky freaking countered the armbar into an Asuka lock on Asuka. Right? Now, how often do you see Asuka trapped in her own submission hold? Right?
Never.
Yeah, so that was kind of a shocker, but Asuka got to the ropes, forcing the hold to be broken. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, another moment that stood out to me in this match was both of them were fighting on the outside of the ring, made their way to the announce table, where Asuka tried to use the friggin' mist to blind Sky, but Sky friggin' held up friggin' Wade Barrett's laptop, and it got drenched with the mist instead. Right?
Yes.
And Asuka had the friggin' look on her face like, oh shit. Right?
Yep.
But then back in the ring, freaking Asuka attempted the over the moonsault, but freaking Asuka blocked it. Applied the Asuka lock, and it looked like freaking Sky was about to pass out. Right?
Yep.
But then freaking Sky managed to roll through and reach the ropes, thus breaking the hold. And then Sky hit a German suplex, but then freaking Asuka came back with a German suplex of her own. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, the ending of this match came when freaking when Sky hit the bullet train attack on Asuka, followed by the over the moonsault to get the pinfall win. Right? Your thoughts on this one?
It was good, and a lot of people are saying that this may be the end of Asuka as well. She may be retiring.
I mean, that's what I heard. From what I know, Asuka's in her 40s. She probably could be thinking about hanging up the boots. Right?
Yeah.
Like, we can hope that it's not Asuka's final match, but if it was, that would be a way to go out, because to me, this was the best match of Backlash. I mean, I can't describe what happened word for word and make you feel the same way. You gotta just go and watch it yourself. Alright? But, and a big indicator of those rumors going around is because after the match, freaking, both Asuka and Io Sky actually embraced each other and held it up each other's hands in victory after a great performance like that. So your thoughts on that little ending, right?
Yeah.
Because I was expecting Asuka to attack freaking Io Sky again. Is that where my mind went? But no, that didn't happen. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, your thoughts on the whole thing or the whole match and the ending as a whole. Right?
Yeah.
Now I asked you what your thoughts on it was.
It was a great match for both of them.
Yeah.
If it's Asuka's last match, yes, I would be sad to see her go. But she went out. She would have gone out on a high note. So.
I mean, Asuka. Asuka. She is a multiple-time women's champion, former NXT women's champion, a Money in the Bank winner, and the first ever women's Royal Rumble match winner. So, Asuka, at her point in this career, pretty much done it all in the business. Accomplishment-wise, the only thing that eluded Asuka was a WrestleMania win. If Asuka sticks around, can we at least have that before she retires? Because, yeah. But that aside, freaking Asuka deserved to have the career she's gotten. Right? But anyway, I thought the match was okay. I thought it was... Actually, no, it's more than okay. I thought the match was great. I thought it was the match of the night on this show. Which means I gave it a really high score. Right?
Yeah.
So, before we get to the main event of this show, what did we see next following the Asuka and Io Sky match?
What?
So what did we see after the Io Sky and Asuka match? We saw something take place before the main event.
Oh, we saw John Cena come out
Yes.
to announce that they're having a new event, which is the
John Cena
Invitational.
Or John Cena Invitational. Where apparently the fans would vote who the inaugural champion is, even if the person they're voting for lost their matches.
So technically, it's gonna be freaking Cyber Sunday and Taboo Tuesday all into one, but John Cena style.
And they said they're gonna introduce a new John Cena freaking competition, John Cena Classic Champion or something, right?
Yes.
And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? When that time comes, oh yeah, and it's apparently going to feature superstars from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. And I'm just like, you know what? Every time I'm just going to vote Gingerbread Man. That'd be insane, wouldn't it?
It would be insane.
Insane.
Yes.
Yeah, and John Cena said the reason he came up with this idea is because of what happened on Saturday night's main event last December. You know, the event where he had his final match, which saw NXT guys and main roster guys face off against each other, you know, before his match. Right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, after that announcement, which is an interesting concept, I guess we'll just have to see what happens in the later months when it's put into practice. We get our main event where our tribal chief, Roman Reigns, defended the World Heavyweight Championship against Jacob Fatu. Now, before we discuss how Roman Reigns rightfully won with no controversy, I guess we have to talk about the match itself.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm just saying it like that just to piss him off. I'm expecting a big FU any minute.
Uh-huh.
Of course, both men...
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself, because you know your fucking little pussy-ass tribal chief who could not handle the Fatu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Riptides I freaking come to expect to hear when it comes to these Roman Reigns matches.
So does everyone else. They know it. That he was too afraid to face Fatu until Fatu pushed his hand. Because he's like, oh, you versus me. That would be nepotism. Bullshit. You were just too afraid.
Shit, that got your dogs even riled up because I heard one of them bark after you mentioned that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I knew this.
The ending of this match. Everything was great. The ending was bullshit.
We haven't even gotten to some of the highlights in the match. You're just going off about the ending.
Fucking matter was bullshit.
Hey, to those of you listening, is it bad I knew he was going to do this right before I started talking about the match?
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah. But anyway, let's get through some of the highlights of the match before going off even further on the ending.
Bullshit.
What's bullshit? I can't talk about this match without you bitching about the end.
The whole thing was fucking Roman Reigns. It's like, oh, I'm the head of the table, blah, 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 blah. Everyone bow before me. Fucking Jacob Fatu comes out. It's like, no, I don't bow before anyone, bitch.
And then Roman said, I know you're not going to use that tongue and death grip on me. And Jacob Fatu just looked at the Usos, was like, hold my beer. And if you get involved, I'm going to burn this family tree to the ground. Basically,
yes.
is what he was saying in this build-up, right?
Yes.
But yeah, anyway, this match, at the opening, like 50% of this match, the offense that Roman Reigns had, freaking Fatu would go down, but he would get right back up, selling it like you do on 2K. You had it right when you mentioned that earlier.
I fucking knew you were gonna do that.
You just didn't expect me to say it during one of the other matches, but whatever, right?
No, I already knew you were going to do it one way or the other.
It's like Fatu or Jacob freaking knocked Reigns on the outside of the floor, and he performed a suicide dive and applied the tongue and death grip out there, which sent Roman into the ring post, right?
Yeah.
Of course, Fatu released the hold, letting Reigns recover, right?
Yeah.
and execute a freaking neck snap on Jacob on the ring rope, right?
Yeah.
And of course, at one point, freaking I believe freaking Jacob Fatu went for a clothesline, but he ended up eating ring post, which let freaking Reigns capitalize with a Superman punch for a 1 count. Kind of won. After a Superman punch, that usually never happens. They're usually down for a 2, so they're building Jacob strong with that one.
Jacob Fatu pops up like I do in 2K.
Yes, now you're even embracing my burn, okay?
I've always embraced it.
Of course, later on, Fatu had the advantage with Roman down in the corner, and then Roman executed the running hip attack, paying tribute to what Umaga used to do, because that was one of his maneuvers, right?
Well, it was a freaking tribute to everyone. So Umaga, Rikishi, Rosie,
every Samoan who did that move, but Umaga was the one who made it more famous with his character on a regular basis. Now, I'm not saying all the other ones didn't make it famous either, but Umaga was the one who used it the most in his matches. And then later on, we see a Samoan drop from freaking Jacob Fatu as well.
A fucking pop-up Samoan drop.
Which is okay because he is Samoan, just like Roman Reigns is, right?
Because fucking Roman went to do a fucking spear, and then fucking Jacob just pops up and just goes, "Hi!"
Samoan drop, right? And this was after Reigns hit a spear for a 2 count, which he went for another one, and that's when the pop-up Samoan drop happened near the end of the match up here. But at one time, freaking Fatu went for the Swanton Bomb on the Reigns, but Reigns raised his knees up, blocking the move. Followed by Fatu nailing another freaking hip attack on the Reigns in the corner. Right? And that's when Fatu put the Tongan Death Grip on the Reigns in the middle of the ring. And Reigns looked like he passed out. Reigns looked like he was about to pass out to the hold, too. And you were actually hoping...
Oh, he did pass out. And then Jacob Fatu let it go. He's like, "Okay, I'm going to pin you. 1, 2. He went up at 2, and he's like, "Oh, not enough. Tongan Death Grip."
Again, right?
Yes.
And of course, Reigns looked like he was going to freaking pass out once again, which you were hoping. You were hoping to see this title switch hands. Right?
Yes. Because everyone knows that he is afraid of freaking Fatu.
But Reigns got out of it, and when he ran back and forced freaking Fatu to nail the freaking referee, right? And of course, Reigns then nailed the Superman punch again, followed by a spear, but got a 2 count when the official went to go make the count. Or the ref went to go make the count, right?
Yeah.
But here's the controversial part. After that, after the 2 count was made, freaking Fatu got back up, freaking attempted to nail the freaking Tongan Death Grip once again on the freaking Reigns, which he got. But then Reigns went for the turnbuckle. Which got exposed, and then Reigns reversed it. Reigns reversed the hold. Freaking Fatu ended up going face first into the freaking exposed turnbuckle. And then freaking Reigns then freaking nailed one last spear on the Fatu to get the 3 count and retain the championship. Okay, before we talk about what happened at the end of the match, your thoughts on it, because honestly, I thought it was a good match up until that controversial spot with the exposed turnbuckle. I mean, I agree with you. The ending of the match was BS, but the rest of the match beforehand was fine.
The match before that, it was great. Honestly, I enjoyed it. I liked seeing Fatu beat the shit out of Roman, yes. Will I like to see it happen again? Yes. Will it happen again? Yes.
I mean, let's face it, there was times when...
Is Roman afraid of Jacob Fatu?
I mean, there was...
goddamn sure.
I mean, there was times in the match where Jacob Fatu looked like he had to win. There was other times in the match where Reigns looked like he thought was going to have a clean win. But, you know,
Dude,
neither of
Roman
those
was
things
on the
happened.
freaking back foot from fucking step 1.
Yeah. I mean, those 2 counts that Reigns got on Fatu, those could have been, one of them could have been a 3 count, but that didn't happen. Right?
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. It could have gone either way up until the ending. And of course, so yeah, I thought it was okay, but I thought it was going to be a great match, but then the ending kind of made it lose points. I'm sorry. And this coming from a
The
Roman
ending
Reigns
was-
fan, I wasn't a fan of that finish.
That was bullshit. Every fucking Roman Reigns fan knows that was bullshit. You know that was bullshit. You know I was going to be fucking pissed about it anyways.
Yeah, I know. After the baby went off air, you called me immediately and goes, "That was bullshit." I know.
That was, yes, it was even more bullshit than fucking Little Yachty sticking his fucking nose into shit that he doesn't need to. But it was bullshit, bullshit, bullshit.
I mean, you're yelling at me like I was the one who booked this match. I didn't book this match.
It was garbage.
Even I can tell you it was bullshit. The rest of the match before that was fine. If they had a clean finish, then regardless who would have won, I would have been like 5-star, but I can't give it 5-star or 5 out of 5. Right? Now. But let's talk about what happened after the match. After the match, Jacob Fatu went totally fucking berserk. Right?
Yes. Because he's like, that's bullshit. That's fucking garbage.
So
I would have done the same fucking shit if I was Jacob Fatu.
So Fatu freaking attacked Roman Reigns, got him down with a tongue and death grip again so badly that you could literally see the spit coming out of, or saliva coming out of Reigns' mouth onto the canvas. And then you had to have other freaking officials try to release freaking Jacob Fatu from Roman Reigns, right? Or release the hold, and he nailed a Samoan drop on one of the officials too. And then to end things off, freaking Fatu applied another tongue and death grip on the Roman Reigns before taking the championship and holding it high above his head. And that's how Backlash ended. Which to me signifies that we are definitely going to see a rematch. This feud ain't over. We're definitely going to see a rematch.
Especially tomorrow, because they just posted, WWE just posted on Facebook and shit that, Roman Reigns has acknowledged ceremony happening Monday, tomorrow night, and Jacob Fatu is invited.
You know Jacob Fatu is going to crash that party, right?
Oh, yeah, I anticipate the violence.
And honestly, with this, if say this goes into Clash in Paris, their next show, right?
Clash in Italy.
Or Clash in Italy, their next show, right? Well, it's a Clash show, so say this goes into Clash, right? I can see these two main eventing that pay-per-view with some kind of no disqualification stipulation, whether it be a no-holds-barred match or a cage match or Hell in a Cell match or something like that. To end the feud, or an unsanctioned match or something like that. To end the feud with a definitive winner, whether it's Roman Reigns or Jacob Fatu, and there's no excuses.
Yes.
And dirty, underhanded, illegal tactics, well, they're all legal and encouraged in those types of matches. To where there's no controversial finish because it's all legal.
Yeah.
Even if the Usos interfered in that match with that stipulation, it's all legal. Regardless whose side they're on, right? So I feel like this is where this feud's going to be, because you can't end it on a post-match beatdown without a rematch. Because that would be kind of BS if they did, you know what I mean? So I have a feeling we're probably going to be talking about Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu in the main event of the Clash show coming up at the end of the month as well. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our review of Backlash 2026. Now, here comes our favorite part of the review that I always talk about, and that's our rating system. And final grade. Braun Breaker defeating Seth Rollins. I gave that one 3.5 out of 5. It could have been a little bit better.
yeah.
What do you give it?
3.5.
Trick Williams defeating Sami Zayn to retain the United States Championship. 2 out of 5. I didn't like the interference in the match.
That's being nice. 1.5.
Okay. Danhausen and Minihausen defeating The Miz and Kit Williams. Kit Wilson. Who the hell is Kit Williams? I don't know. Either way, I gave that one 3 out of 5.
4.
Okay. Io Sky defeating Asuka, like I said, in my opinion, it was the match of the night, so I gave that one 5 out of 5.
That's definitely a 5 out of 5. It doesn't fucking deserve anything lower than that.
Yep. And of course, the main event with Roman Reigns defeating Jacob Fatu due to controversial circumstances. I couldn't give it any higher than 4.5 out of 5. It would have been a 5 out of 5 if it wasn't for that turnbuckle spot at the end. In my opinion. What do you give that one?
I'd give it a 5 out of 5 just for the post-ending beatdown.
Yeah, but I was basing my score from bell to bell. Now, with everything as a complete package, it would have been a 5 out of 5, but I don't count post-match, I count bell to bell. That's why I said it was a 4.5 out of 5 for me.
Still a 5 out of 5 for me.
So, my personal final grade for Backlash 2026 is a solid B grade.
Mine's like a A- between B and A, so...
Yep. So, obviously, the matches I would recommend from this show would obviously be the Io Sky and Asuka match, and the main event with Reigns and Fatu. And if you wanted a joke match, the Miz and Wilson taking on Danhausen and Minihausen match, but that's just personal preference for a little bit of a laugh, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our freaking thoughts and review of Backlash 2026. So now, it is my turn for the show we are going to be reviewing this next week. And you know, I've already decided what we are going to be reviewing next week after thinking about it. Right?
Uh-huh.
And you know, it ain't nothing bad. I don't know if you would call it a great show. It depends on your opinion of it. But, we're going to go back over 20 years. And yeah, it's going to be a classic Backlash show. So yeah, buckle up for this one. It's a Backlash we haven't reviewed yet. I already checked. So next week, we are going to be reviewing Backlash 2004. Any initial responses to that?
I'd have to look at it.
Well,
I remember what Backlash 04 was. Just give me a second.
Well, Backlash 04, we had Chris Benoit defend the world title in a WrestleMania 20 rematch against Shawn Michaels and Triple H. That one was the one where we had the hardcore match for the Intercontinental title between Orton and Cactus Jack, which is a classic, right? Oh, we had Edge versus Kane in a singles match, in Edge's first pay-per-view match since coming back from his neck injury that sidelined him for a year. Right? Yeah, and we had Jericho versus Christian and Trish Stratus in a handicap match. Right? Oh, and we had Tajiri taking on your boy, Jonathan Coachman, at that show. So, and I thought it was a good show overall. I thought that one was a good classic show overall. Right?
We had Shelton Benjamin versus Flair.
Yep. We had your boy Jonathan Coachman take on Tajiri.
Tajiri with Garrison Cable interfering.
Garrison Cable. Like I said, we
Christian versus Trish for the CBL fucking
Chris Jericho versus Christian and
bullshit, that
Trish in a handicap
Canadian lover
match.
boy shit.
We had Victoria versus Lita for
Lita
the women's title.
Victoria versus Lita, which was had the post match beatdown. Randy versus Cactus Jack.
In a hardcore match for the Intercontinental title. We had your boys La Resistance taking on Rosie and Hurricane in a tag match. So yeah,
Yep.
so yeah, that one was, I feel, was a decent show.
Edge versus Kane. Benoit.
Versus Michaels.
The triple threat Benoit, Michaels, and Triple H.
In a WrestleMania 20 triple threat rematch. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that. So yeah, I mean, it's that Backlash 04 was essentially a one night show, or one night show. That match being Orton and Cactus Jack. So, and I know we haven't reviewed that one yet, so that's what we're going to be doing next week.
And the pre-show was Matt versus Val Venus.
Yeah. So yeah, we get to look forward to reviewing that later on this week, I should say. So until then, I will talk to you all later. Peace.
Doses.